Mr. Risi, how are you, sir?
I'm very good.
So this week's Spurgeon Cougar Roar video is all about our top readers in Accelerated Reader. We have 5 kids that have hit 1 million words already this year, and the last news I had was we were right there in #1 in terms of AR for intermediate schools.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm
So
glad to hear that.
Why is reading so important?
Reading is the basis of our literacy, and the more that you read, we can't learn vocabulary just, we're not going to look up every word that we see, but when we read, we're exposed to all this different vocabulary, all these different words, and we try to figure out what they sort of mean as we read. And then we see it again on another page or in another book, and we figure out how it is. And after a while, you get closer and closer and closer until you never looked up the word, but you know what that word is. And the more words that you know, the easier it's going to be. All the work in the 21st century, the most of it, is going to involve reading something off of a piece of paper, at least to get yourself trained. If you can't read, it's like you're chopping off one of your arms. And the number of jobs that you're going to be qualified for are much, much, much more limited. A good reader will always be able to retrain themselves and to find another job in our changing economy, because the technology will always change. You have a great job, but it's going to disappear because the computer's going to eat it. What are you going to do? Give up? Start sweeping the floor? No. If you read, you can change. You can find a new job. You can train yourself. Those are the people who will survive and thrive in the 21st century.
So you talked a lot about how important reading is relative to jobs in the 21st century skills. I had the opportunity to talk with our top readers, and every single one of them shared that really reading a book is like having a movie in your head.
Absolutely.
So there's the pleasure part of this too, right?
Of course. The pleasure part is huge. They're right. It is. It's a movie in your head. And the better that you can read, the more interesting the movies become. It doesn't have to be little, Arthur's tooth when you're a kid. Okay, that's true. It was just reading about this. But as you get older, then all of a sudden it's Rick Riordan or something like this, or you're getting more complicated stuff, and you're into the Twilight stuff, and the characters get more complex, and they get more nuanced, and it's sort of like, oh, and there's a whole world out there.
And one of our top readers did mention Rick Riordan as her favorite author, and it's interesting that our top readers all have favorite authors that they're very ready and it's easy for them to identify.
Right.
Hi, Guadalupe. So good to see you again. So we're here because you are one of the top readers here at Spurgeon Intermediate. You've read over 1 million words so far this year. What's your favorite genre of book?
Fiction.
Fiction? Why do you like fiction so much?
Because when I read them, it's interesting and it looks like I'm in their world. Because it's very exciting. And sometimes it's like taking you to another world.
I like how there's infinite possibilities. Anything could happen in those books.
I like it that when I can read the book, I can picture the images in my mind like a movie.
Do you have a favorite author?
Yeah, Rick Warren.
Yeah? What do you like about that author?
I like how he I like how he explains stuff, how he keep the story keep moving, how he make you can't put the book down.
No, not really, because I think every book's special and every author has their own way of using their words in their books.
Do you have a favorite author?
Lemony Snicket.
Lemony Snicket. So you like those books?
Yes.
Aren't they a little scary?
No.
No? If you had one piece of advice to give to a friend, because clearly you're very passionate about reading. You like to read.
Yes.
So if you were trying to inspire one of your friends to read who maybe didn't read as much, what would you tell them?
Read it, and then if you don't like it, maybe because you've got the wrong book, but when you get the right book, you can't stop reading anymore.
Just don't push it. Find time. It's maybe 15 minutes, 30 minutes. Find a little time, just a little. Don't push it. I mean, if you like reading, you will like reading.
Well, I would tell them to read books that have lots of pictures in them,
Mm-hmm.
so their mind can get attracted to it, and then they'll probably get more interested into it, and then they'll want to read more books.
When you read one of those books, what happens in your head?
It's like I'm watching a movie,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm part of the movie too.
Characters moving, pictures moving, everything's like so real and like a movie. It's not like you're reading no more. There's no word to it. You just imagine the characters like talking to you and talking to everyone.
When I read, it's sort of like watching a movie,
Yeah.
but reading it.
Do you ever hit a point with a book where you think, oh my gosh, I can't put it down because I'm at this great spot and I need to know what's going to happen?
Yes, sometimes I stay up until 11 just to read, just to finish a book.
With a book light?
Oh, most of the time asking myself, how is this gonna end? Because sometimes there's problems that are really big, or sometimes it's just very surprising.
I think reading helps you with.
It's helped me develop my English because since I've been here for almost 3 years, and my English is not that good. So by reading, I feel like I get more confident. I know more words, and I feel like it's fun to read.
Well, when I read, it helps my language, how to speak better, but it also helps my writing.
How does it help your writing? That's an interesting insight.
Because the authors, they add detailed words, so in your mind you can picture every little detail that's happening.
How do I get more of our boys here at Spurgeon to read more?
Don't try to give them books that you think they'd like. Have them choose it. Have them pick their favorite author, their favorite genre, and just give them time to explore the books.
How do you find time to read all these books? You've read 20 books already. With all your homework and everything else that you do, because I think you're an orchestra as well, right? Or band. How do you find time to make that happen?
During class, in Mrs. Alfaro's class,
Yeah.
she always gives us time. She always gives us time in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and after school while I wait for my brother, and when I get home.
I'm going to tell you a secret about Miss Alfaro, because I talked to her about, hey, what's up with Gracia? She already has 2 million words. She said, you know what, Mr. Collins, sometimes I have to tell her to close her book.
I honestly don't know.
You just make it happen?
Yeah.
I would say I would do my homework first and then I just get comfortable. I like reading at night because it's just that time I feel comfortable with it, and I have been doing it for like 2 or 3 years now, so it's just fine time.
Have you ever gone to a movie after you read the book?
Yes.
And what's your reaction to that?
My reaction is pure rage. So many stuff changes.
Oh, yeah? What was that? Can you remember a book in a movie where that happened?
I can. The first book that I ever read, Percy Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
I saw the movie and then I read the book and I'm like, so much stuff is changing in this.
You will get to take a trip to Barnes & Noble with our other top readers where, as a school, we're going to help you pick out your next couple of books, okay? So thank you very much for taking the time to sit down and talk with me about that, and I can't wait to hear what you're reading next. Why do we use AR here at Spurgeon?
AR is the easiest way for us to make sure that you are reading. An AR test is not super hard questions. They ask you about the beginning, about the middle, and about the end. They just want to make sure that you read the story with enough understanding that you got it, and then you get some points for it. This way we can say, okay, you have to get this many number of points. We don't have time to read in class every day. We don't have that time, so you have to be reading at home. And in order to make sure that that's happening, you take AR tests. And we have in our agenda the thing that you take it with the teacher, they monitor your tests, they sign it, you've got those points, and at the end of the semester or the grading period, you can turn that into your teacher, and there it is. It's in black and white. It's proof that you read that.
So relative to reading, which is so important as we've established, what's one bit of advice that you would give to our 11, 12, 13, and 14-year-olds here at Spurgeon?
About reading?
Yeah.
Find a book that you like. First of all, find a book in your ZPD. Don't read a book that's too easy for you, where you're not going to, you already know all those words. Don't find a book that's so hard. Oh, I want to read Rick Riordan. You can't get past the first page. You're not going to finish. You're just going to get frustrated. Find out what your ZPD is. You already know what it is. Read books in there. If they're consistently too easy, good. Take a test, get the points. Get a little bit harder, get a little bit harder on your own. Do it that way. But find books that you like, and then find another one and another one. There's plenty. I'm telling you, there's good books in our library. Ms. Cuevas has done a good job to updating that stock, and there's stuff out there that if you knew what was there, you'd be excited about it. You got to look a little bit and find those books.
Well, and our school site council invested in the Myons. We have this giant digital library that should be coming soon, so all our kids will have access to many, 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 many thousands of books more than they have now.
Okay.
So thank you very much, Mr. Amici. I
Thank you,
appreciate the
sir.
time.
Anything that's going towards reading is good stuff.